Hello, thank you all for being here tonight. Happy Tuesday. My name is Dr. Stacy Holweger. I'm excited to share the science and technology with you about this amazing patch that we're getting ready to talk about tonight. Let me grab one here real quick. So I want to give you a little bit of background info about myself too. Everybody always asks, what kind of doctor are you? Are you an MD? And I am not an MD, just so you know. I have a PhD in integrative medicine. I'm almost finished with my PhD in functional medicine. And so what that means is I work with all different types of holistic modalities. So everything under the sun that is considered alternative or holistic or all natural. I do know different things about medicines, of course, because of spending so many years with my daughter and things, but definitely not a medical doctor. So with that, I want to make sure you understand that I am not your doctor and that the information that I'm going to be sharing with you tonight is absolutely informational. I am not here to diagnose or to treat or to cure anything. You're definitely going to want to check with your healthcare practitioner, your doctor, or whoever takes care of your health needs and ask them about using this technology if you have any concerns or anything like that. So we're going to jump right into it because I know you guys have a lot of questions tonight. So I'm excited. And of course, we're going to be giving away some free X39s too. So I'm excited to share this technology with you. But if you have just joined us, I want to make sure I say this again. Grab your notebook, grab your pen, get your questions written down, get ready to take some notes because I am going to be answering all of your questions. This is an interactive Zoom tonight, all right? And so this is what our technology looks like. This, I just took the back off one, so it's super sticky. This is a non-transdermal patch. And this patch is, the company's name is LifeWave, but non-transdermal means that nothing is going into the body. And so you're probably very familiar with transdermal patches, nicotine, birth control, estrogen, pain patches, patches that you put on the body and something, a substance or a chemical goes into the body, correct? You guys are very familiar with that. And so this is not like that at all. And I want to explain to you how this works so you understand this technology. And then I'll go over those frequently asked questions. So when you apply this patch to the body, our body's heat that we emit, if you can feel your chest, you can feel your 98.6, right? Or the light that our body emits. We emit a low level infrared light. So our body's heat or light reflects back a signal from this patch. And that signal activates and elevates and mobilizes your body's own stem cells. So how does this work if there's nothing going into the body? Remember, I said this is non-transdermal. Nothing is transferring into your body. So if you look at the back of this or the front, either one, you'll see the white part. Embedded in that is a crystal lattice structure. And this structure is a group of amino acids and sugars and oxygen and salts, a proprietary blend. So we're not going to tell you what's in it, right? But know that it's not amino acids like you would drink or that you would consume in, when you have food. This is not sugar like table sugar. These are solutions of stereoisomers, and they form a lattice structure. And so this is a biophotonic exchange of information. Our body's light communicating with the light that's in this patch, reflecting back a specific wavelength of light into our body. And that happens through the pathway of GHK-Cu copper peptide. Laurel put a website in our chat. It's reverseagingwithghk.com. And you can read all the benefits, 50 years of clinical studies and research from a Dr. Lauren Picard, who talks about the benefits of increasing your GHK. And so this patch, when you apply this to your body, our body's light reflects back that signal. That signal increases, activates, elevates, and mobilizes our own stem cells. And it does that, like I said, through the pathway of GHKCU copper peptide, which is famous for everything from anti-aging to, oh gosh, if you read on there, COPD and asthmas and allergies, all the way even to cancers. So everything A to Z, GHKCU helps out dramatically. So we increase the GHKCU. We actually upregulate over a third of the genes in your body to their perfect young, youthful state with this technology. And of course, in turn, increasing, activating, elevating your body's stem cells. So what does that mean for you? Well, what it means is age reversal at its finest. If you've seen my timeline or some of the others here recently, we've all been sharing before and after pictures of people that have been using this technology for months, 3 months, 10 months, a year and a half, some even, and the difference in what's happening from activating and elevating their stem cells. So when you're young, you have an abundance of stem cells. Your body makes abundance of them. That's why you're young, right? 5-year-olds don't have heart disease, 10-year-olds don't have gray hair, and 15-year-olds don't have back pain, because we have these beautiful stem cells in our body that are always going to work to repair and regenerate all the cells and tissues and organs in our body. And you see that as we age, our stem cell production declines. This is just part of aging. By the time you're in your 30s, you're making half the stem cells you did when you were a child, which is why you start to see some of the aches and pains and the sleep issues, maybe a little bit, or memory or concentration issues, or you walk into a room and you're like, why did I walk in here? I have no idea what's going on, right? And maybe you're not recovering as fast as you were before. Well, then by the time in your 60s, you're making less than 10% stem cells. That's just science. We just can measure this, right, with our blood. And so David Schmidt, the owner of this technology, the inventor of this technology, who created this 20 years ago, the first patch I'll tell you about here in just a minute, but he figured out a way to basically stop that aging process and reverse the aging process in the body, improving the functionality of all the cells, all the tissues, and all the organs. So I want you to think about your heart, your lungs, your liver, your kidneys, your pancreas. Every single ounce of you in your body, your brain, your eyes, your ears, your skin, everything is going to improve because of the increase of your body's own stem cells. That's huge. That means that your body literally will start to repair itself and regenerate itself from the first day that you start applying this technology. Now, regeneration takes time. This is regenerative medicine, so I want to make sure I cover this for you guys. People always want to know, how long do I wear this patch? How do I apply it? When can I stop wearing it? Well, you actually are going to put it on the back of your neck. They like to stick. Put it on the back of your neck. CV7, you feel back there, that bumpy vertebrae? Or you can put it below your belly button. You're going to put it on in the morning when you get up. And you're going to leave that patch on for 12 hours. And then after 12 hours, you're going to take it off and you're going to throw it away. Or you can put it on your pet, right? Dog, cat, horse, whatever, chicken, cow. We've had all kinds of pets use this technology to help them to repair as well too, and stay young and youthful. But you're going to do that again the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. So the rule of thumb is 1 month for every 10 years you are old. So if you're 40, then 4 months. If you're 50, 5 months, 60, 6 months, and so on. And that's what you really need to get to that full level of stem cell regeneration. Are you going to see things happen before that point? Of course you are. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about next, what you're going to expect. But just so you know, you put it on in the morning when you get up, you leave it on 12 hours, you take it off and you throw it away. And then you do it again the next day and the next day and the next day. You don't skip days and you don't take breaks, because this works with a compound effect. And we see this from clinical studies. So David has done over 90 clinical studies, double-blind, placebo, independent labs and researchers all over the globe. Okay, so this is not like we paid for these few studies in the house and this is what we're saying. No, this is 20 years of research and data. And so we can show that when you use this patch, you're going to see the benefits compound over time. So what do people experience initially? Well, I'm going to tell you based on clinical studies, okay? Because everybody wants this to happen now, right? You want the miracle cure, the miracle pill, the miracle patch, whatever, and you want it to happen instantly. You want everything fixed, right? We're a microwave society. Well, regeneration doesn't work that way. It happens over time, and it's a progression. But the beautiful thing is what regenerates stays. So this is not like a medicine. When you take a pill, say, for example, for blood pressure, it will lower your blood pressure, but is it actually repairing your heart? Is it getting to the root cause of the problem? No. Because if you stop taking the blood pressure medicine, then your blood pressure is going to go back up. So this does not work that way. This actually works to repair those organs and cells and tissues in your body over time. And when they regenerate, if you Google regenerate, when they regenerate, when they repair, when they're restored, then that regeneration is yours, and it's yours to keep forever. Okay. And so if you wear this patch, the clinical studies say 3 to 6 weeks is when the majority of people notice significant improvements. And what do they typically notice? Well, they notice pain reduction. I think everybody on the planet pretty much is in some type of pain, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional pain, right? So they help with pain reduction. We know they help with sleep quality, better quality, deep REM sleep, which is so important. You know, if you're in pain, you're not sleeping well, are you? No. And then they also help with mental clarity and focus and concentration and energy and physical energy and vitality. They help with a general sense of well-being. And the X39, the stem cell activation patch, actually helps with recovery from fitness and activity and faster wound healing. We can see all of this happening with our clinical studies. Now, you may experience something before the three-week mark. That's perfectly fine. And if you do, I'm happy for you. I personally did not. But for a lot of people, you know, they want it now, and I get that. But sometimes you have to understand that it's going to take time before you're going to start to feel things or experience things. And that's okay. It will happen for you. But about 80% see a difference in 3 to 6 weeks. The other 20%, it's about 3 to 6 months. A couple of weeks ago, I interviewed 4 people, and none of them had results before 3 months, and they didn't give up. I kept telling them, just keep patching. And then the results were massive, right? We had Rosemary, who was on a walker for 2 years. And after 5 months, she's no longer on a walker. She's at convention, going around everywhere, nonstop, all over that convention center, and never missed a beat, right? And so it takes time for those things to really repair. But one thing I want to share with you about the compound effect is with your heart. Now, you all have a heart, right? Everybody in here has a heart, one heart, correct? And so we know we want to keep that heart young and healthy, but we also know that the #1 killer is heart disease. And so it's really important that we look at the things that keep our heart functioning young and healthy and vital. And so using this patch, the stem cell activation patch, every day for 1 week does nothing to your heart. Using it every day for 2 weeks, no improvements in your heart. 3 weeks, nope. 4, nope. 5 weeks, there's still no improvement in your heart. We can see this on clinical studies with people, but guess what happens at week 6? At week 6, we can see the functionality of the heart improving. We can see it literally reversing by 8 weeks. So 6 weeks on this patch, and the functionality of your cardiovascular system is functioning as if it were 8 weeks younger. How does that happen? It happens from the compound effect. So what do you think is going to happen at week 10 or 12 or 20 or 40 or 50? What if a year goes by? What's going to happen to your heart in that point in time? You know, I spoke with a man today, and he was asking me about the heart and what helps with the heart. And a lot of you probably have heart questions, right? And we're not going to talk about any diseases or any syndromes or any disorders, but I can talk to you about the functionality of the heart. And I said, well, when I interviewed Dr. Harmon, he has had PVCs his entire life. And he said those completely went away about 5 to 7 months in. He couldn't remember exactly. But he said he had a right branch bundle block. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but that's deadly, right? You're not going to live a very long, healthy life. And what's he have, Laura? 24 grandchildren. Yeah, 24 grandchildren, 8 children. And he said having a right branch bundle block means I'm not going to be here to see all of them. And that was really bothering him. So using this technology, he used it every day, day after day, week after week, month after month. What was it, about 8, 10 months? Was it 10 months about? He went to his cardiologist and they did the test. I can't remember exactly, but we have the recording if you want to see it. And they showed that he had no right branch bundle block at all. None, like gone. And the cardiologist was just beside himself. He said, there's no way this never happens. This does not happen. What did you do? And he said, I just use a stem cell patch every day and I never stopped. And it repaired his heart. That's just his personal testimonial, right? And you can hear him. He's been a chiropractor for the last 30 years and into neurotherapies and things like that. So that's huge, right? To take care of your body, your cells, your organs, and your tissues. And a lot of times we don't even feel those things happening. Do you think he felt his blockage repairing? No, he didn't feel that. He also didn't feel his hair turning back to its black color that it used to be and filling in. And he didn't feel the edema leaving his legs anymore. He just looked down one day and poof, it's gone, right? It's like, oh my gosh, there's no more lines around my ankles when I take my socks off. And he didn't feel his wrinkles going away either, but they did. He looks like he's in his probably early 50s and he's almost 70. So that's what happens over time from using this technology. And so know that you can use this as well. And I want you to know a few simple things. Number one, there are no side effects. There are only benefits. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain from using this technology every day and every month and even every year. So you can stop using it whenever you want. You can say, well, I'm going to do this for 3 months and I'm going to see what it gets me. Okay, great. Go ahead and do that. Know that that regeneration that you've experienced over that 3 months is yours. It's yours to keep. You can stop patching at any point in time. But we always say, stop patching whenever you want to start aging again because of the age reversal. And we really see from the clinical studies, we see about every 6 months is about 8 years younger at your cellular age. And so for myself personally, I went to my naturopathic doctor, who Laura goes to as well. And I had my biomarkers done. My biomarkers determine your cellular age, not your biological. And they showed that I was 30 at 6 months in, and I was 47 at the time, 48 now. So that was pretty impressive for me. I'm sure I was a little bit younger, but not 17 years younger. Laura went at one year, right? You went at 1 year, Laura, and you'll be 60 next month, and your biomarkers showed that you were 40. 20 years younger after 1 year of using this technology, right? That's huge. And so the days are going to pass anyways. The months and weeks are going to pass. The years are going to pass. Are you going to reverse age like we are, get back to 25 and hang out there? Or are you going to continue to age and deal with the aging process, right? And so again, we're not talking about specific diseases or disorders or conditions that you're dealing with. We can talk about the symptoms, and we can talk about the systems of the body and how this technology impacts the systems. And so David, over the last 20 years, like I said, 20 years, has been inventing this technology. The stem cell activation patch has only been out the last 3 years because it took him 10 years in the lab to figure out how to do it. But he started 20 years ago working with the Navy SEALs. He was working on the subs and working for the Department of Defense, and he was asked to invent something to improve the sustainability, endurance, and stamina and energy of the SEALs in the field. And so he invented the energy enhancer. He was given or downloaded the information by the divine to create a non-transdermal patch that actually triggers beta oxidations and turns body fat into fuel. And then what happened, of course, 9/11, unfortunately, we had the World Trade Centers collapse, and the country, the Department of Defense, took a very different turn to protect the United States. And so that was no longer needed, that project. And David decided to start his own company then 20 years ago. And he'd already been doing research, of course, with different scientists and doctors on this technology and had ideas for other patches. So over the last 20 years, he's invented a dozen patches. Now, I'm not going to go over all of them tonight. I'm actually going to be creating a video tomorrow to go over each one of them individually and condense it down. So be looking for that tomorrow sometime. But know that there are a couple things I'm going to share with you real quickly. And that is Alavita, because you guys are going to ask me about, what about this? What about this? What about this? And so we always start with the X39, the stem cell activation patch that I just talked to you about, right? That has no side effects. None of this technology has any side effects. They don't have any contraindications with anything you're doing. If you're on medications or supplements or vitamins, you're perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with any of that. But I want you to know about the Eon. Eon is a patch that reduces inflammation. And we know that inflammation is the root cause of diseases in the physical body, right? We can see that. And so when you reduce inflammation at the same time you increase stem cell production, you set the body up for a more dramatic repair and regeneration process. process, right? Faster as well. And so we want to be able to help you have the best results and the best outcomes as quickly as possible, because of course you do. You could just patch with this every single day and never use anything else. But like I said, I talked to a man today and he was like, hey, I need to know more about the heart. Tell me what other patches to use, because I really need to get on this right now. And he's been using just the X39, but he said, I know there's other stuff I just don't understand. And I said, well, you definitely need the Eon, okay, because you need to reduce inflammation. And one of the inflammatory markers is fibrinogen, and fibrinogen has a direct correlation to coronary artery disease. And so you want to reduce your fibrinogen level and keep it in balance in your body, because it's a blood clotting factor. Most people have high fibrinogen. I would worry about your fibrinogen level versus your cholesterol level for sure. And so I said, Eon is absolutely your patch that you want to use. And so when we talk about anything that's going on in the body, we always talk about X39 and Eon together. This is always your starting point. If you do nothing else, start with these two right here. You apply both of them to your back of your neck, one and one below the other, every single morning when you get up, and go about your day and take them off 12 hours later. And do it again every single day. Every single day. Don't miss a day, right? If you also want to look at the heart, we would look at carnosine, and we would also look at X49. These are some two other patches that you can utilize for the heart to help improve the quality of the heart. They work very differently. All patches work differently. So remember how I said that when you apply the patch to the skin, that your body's light reflects back a signal from the patch, and that signal is talking to peptides in the body. Well, each patch speaks to a different peptide because it's a different crystal lattice structure. And so this stem cell activation patch speaks to GHKCU, copper peptide. Well, Eon speaks to a peptide that's in the liver. So totally different pathway that's being communicated in the body. So just know that they're all working differently, and they all work synergistically, but they also work individually. So we like to combine patches to be able to help you have the best results that you want to achieve, right? And so I'm going to go ahead and answer some of your questions to make sure I get that. So where do you sign up and try to win the patches? So Sue, the person who invited you gave all the names. Whoever was invited tonight, all the names were given to me by 5 p.m. Eastern. And so they're already in the wheel of names. At the end here, I'll share that screen and I'll share the wheel of names, and I'll give away some free X39s. So do the patches maintain their efficacy after 12 hours of wearing them? No, they actually don't. So what happens is, after about 12 hours, maybe give or take a little, right? Not too much, but the lattice structure, it's a solution of chiral stereoisomers, and they stay together once the body's light starts communicating with them. They stay together for about 12 hours, maybe 13, whatever, 12, 13 hours. And then after that, they start to dissipate. And so they're no longer effective. They're not going to be beneficial for you to keep wearing. And plus, you don't want to continue to wear them because your body is trying to communicate with them. Your body's light. It's kind of like a light in the room. My selfie light just went off. And so you leave it on too long and it's going to eventually go out, right? And so the same thing with our body. Our body's light communicating with this patch over and over and over again. It's going to stop communicating. It's going to stop working. It's not going to be effective. And so after 12 hours, you want to take it off and throw it away. Like I said, you can put it on your pet or in your pet bed, and give them a little extra bump if you want to do that. But not, definitely don't wear them past the 12-hour. Give your body the 12-hour break to repair and to regenerate, okay? How can you substantiate no proven side effects? So we've done over 90 clinical studies. Laura's going to put a website in the chat. It's startx39now.com. And you can see that we don't have any side effects when you look at the clinical studies. There's nothing harmful because there's nothing going into the body. So nothing is transferring or being absorbed into your body. So there's no interactions with anything that you're currently doing. As far as side effects, I guess you could say, well, if you don't consume the water on a daily basis, you may feel a little fatigued. You might even have a little bit of a headache. So if you want to call that a side effect, you could. We call that being dehydrated. So it's real important that you drink water every day. I know most people drink a glass or two or three. It's really important to look at your body weight and get at least half your body weight in ounces every day. And so that way you feel really good. You have fantastic results. We know the cells, our body's mostly water, right? 75–80% water. And our cells being light, they need that water for conductivity and for things to work and to function just like this, right? That's what we want. And so it's real important that we stay hydrated, but no side effects. You're not going to be in bed. You're not going to have, extra limbs growing. There's not going to be anything weird happening to you. You're going to feel amazing. Okay. Trust me, you're going to feel amazing. So technical details, hazards of dealing with retired and bored engineers in need of verifiable solutions. So Jean, if you go to my YouTube channel, it's Dr. Stacy. You can see where I have done a couple different doctors, practitioners, Zooms that are very much detailed and a lot more descriptive in what I'm talking about. And so you can find those on there as well too. And you can also go to startx39now.com. And again, you can see all the clinical studies and the research and hear from other doctors as well as David Schmidt on there talking about all the information, and all the patents are on there too. So is LifeWave the only company who developed stem cell patch technology? Okay, so we have a 20-year patent on this patch. Okay, so this is not anywhere else in the planet, in the universe. This is it. This is the one and only patch that signals your body to activate, elevate, and mobilize its own stem cells. So we don't have any copycats out there because we have this patent. And even inside of that patent, there are those proprietary secret components that no one can even see exactly what that solution of chiral stereoisomers is for each patch. So definitely know that this technology is safe with us. As far as FDA approved, so we are in the medical, in the wellness sector of that. We are not FDA approved, of course, as a medicine or a drug to be prescribed by a doctor. Doctors do recommend this to their patients and to their clients, of course, but we are a FDA approved class 1 medical device, which is a Band-Aid. This is a 3M hyperallergenic patch. And so that part is FDA approved, of course, for use. Does exercise or raising your body temperature help to activate the patch since it's activated by heat? No, we are 98.6. And so you don't have to do anything to make the patch work except for stick it on. That's all you got to do. Just stick it on, leave it on 12 hours every single day, right? And know that we emit light. Our body emits a low-level infrared light. That is a fact. If we were to go outside right now, it's dark where I am here on the East Coast, we couldn't see our neighbors or the animals outside unless we had night vision goggles. And so that is because if looking through night vision goggles, you can see the heat or the light being emitted from the person. If you forget to take it off, you turn into a pumpkin. I always got to fit that in at one point in time. Now, if you forget to take it off, then you're just like, ugh. You get up in the morning, you take it off, you throw it away, and you wait a 24-hour period. So you say tonight I went to bed, it's Tuesday, I forgot to take it off. Then tomorrow morning, Wednesday, I would just take it off, throw it away, and I wouldn't patch all day Wednesday. I would patch on Thursday, but nothing's going to happen. You'll be fine. As far as arthritis, so again, we're not here to treat or cure arthritis, but when we look at aches and pains and joints and things that hurt and maybe, aren't functioning correctly, we would definitely look at the X39 and we would look at the Eon. We want to reduce that inflammation, right? But we also look at glutathione. Glutathione coats the joints. It is the master antioxidant, the master detoxer, the master immune booster. A lot of people have heard of glutathione because a lot of your holistic practitioners are recommending it as a liquid to be ingested or even as an IV push at the end of your vitamin drip if you do that. Just know that those things increase your glutathione by about 20–23%, has a 7-minute half-life. This technology, again, it looks just like this, right? You put the patch on, you leave it on 12 hours. It actually elevates your body's own glutathione level. It signals a different peptide in the liver that increases your own glutathione level, actually by 300%, sometimes even up to 500% and 600% we've seen in the studies with people, but it sustains it for a 24-hour period. And so what that means is glutathione being the master antioxidant, immune booster, detoxer, it goes to work to get rid of free radicals in your body. And free radicals are those harmful cells in your body that cause damage and that cause you to have different things start to not function correctly. And so you want to keep your antioxidant level high. And this is a master antioxidant. I also mentioned carnosine, which is great for your heart. It is also another really big antioxidant. It's huge what carnosine does for the heart, the brain, the muscles. It's amazing. Oh, that's great to hear. I'm glad to hear your arthritis stopped after a few days. So how many different patches can you wear at a time? You can wear all of them during the day, except for Alavita. I don't have a Silent Nights here with me. Alavita and Silent Nights. So Silent Nights is for sleeping. So you would put that on at night when you go to bed. And Alavita is a patch that also works during the nighttime because it signals a peptide in your pineal gland and it lengthens your telomeres and reduces oxidative stress. And it's amazing for the outside of the body, right? Skin, all things skin is Alavita. So those two are nighttime, but you can wear the other patches during the day. And you can wear whatever combination of patches you want. If you have depression or anxiety or stress, or you deal with mood issues, balancing your mood, Nirvana, right? This is our bliss patch. You can wear this day or night. Same thing with LifeWave, gets rid of pain immediately. You can wear it day or night. Carnosine, glutathione, you can wear these day or night. It's totally up to you. Eon can actually be worn at night. This patch puts your body in a parasympathetic state. So we call it our happy patch. A lot of people like this at night before bed because it helps them to calm down and to relax and to kind of shut off the monkey mind. Obviously, energy enhancer is a daytime patch. We're going to be increasing energy. SP6, which balances the endocrine system, is a daytime patch. X49 signals the daughter peptide to X39. And so these patches work synergistically, building lean muscle mass and bone density and reducing fat. They work together during the day. X39 is only during the day. So you would definitely, and as far as placement, each patch comes with its own instruction booklet. And so you can see the actual points that you apply it. So this is based on acupuncture points. So David has done his clinical studies with the foundation of traditional Chinese medicine. And so each patch is placed on an acupuncture point because that affects the different meridians in the body, right? And it affects different systems and organs. And so that's why we have these instruction booklets. So like energy enhancer, you can pick your spot, right? SP6, pick your spot. And so each one comes with a different booklet that tells you the choices that you can pick to apply the patch. Okay, they all have instructions. So if you're sick, put on a glutathione. Will it help you go away faster? Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's a big antioxidant. So definitely, it's definitely something you can patch if you're not feeling well. If you're using X39 Eon, X49, glutathione, what's the best place to put them? So Diana, you're a female, so you can do a couple different things. X39 and Eon you can put on the back of your neck. You can put X49 and glutathione below your belly if you want. For women, David recommends X49 below the belly. For men, you can do it back of the neck or below the belly. You can take all four of them and line them straight down in a line right below your belly button if you want as well too. Sometimes I do that. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I got to look down. How many patches do I have below my belly button right now? So sometimes I'll just put all four of them down in a line. I don't even want to mess with it. Why isn't LifeWave a brick and mortar online store versus tiered marketing? That's a great question. So when David was working for the SEALs in the U.S. Department of Defense, when all that took place, he decided to start LifeWave as a company. And he really wasn't a big fan of direct sales, honestly. This is his words, his story. He said he wasn't a big fan of direct sales at all, but he knew that, you know, putting this in a GNC or a Walmart or a Costco wasn't going to be the way for it to get sold to the you know, mass amount of people, because of the fact that no one would know what Nirvana was. It says general wellness patch phototherapy, like no one would have any idea what this was. And so he kept talking to different people, random places, on airplanes and in different locations. And they kept saying, you know, this has got to be sold by word of mouth marketing. And he's like, I'm not a big fan of direct sales. You know, I don't like that pushy salespeople type. And he's like, but people kept saying to him, that's not what this is about. This is about connection. This is about caring about your friends and your family and your coworkers and your neighbors, and knowing what's going on with people and saying, hey, I found something that's helped me, or I know this has helped my friend. Why don't you try this? This may help you as well too. And so it's word of mouth, right? We make word of mouth suggestions every single day. My sister-in-law texted me today. She goes, what's the best chocolate you got right now? And I said, oh, Hu, H-U, hands down, by far, amazing, great taste, clean, super clean, like the only chocolate I'll eat. And she's like, all right, perfect. Give me a link. I don't have anything to do with Hue. I don't own Hue. I'm not a rep for Hue. I have nothing to do with Hue, but I recommended Hue. I didn't get a kickback with Hue, but I buy Hue all the time. And so I sent her the link, order this. And she's like, oh, thanks. Sounds great. It's word of mouth. We recommend things we love every single day. And so David's like, okay, great. I'll do it. I'll start a company, a multi-level marketing company with people that talk to people, that share with people that they like, they trust, they know, they care, or maybe they are just random strangers that run into each other and they were brought together for a specific reason, for one person to help another, right? And so why are we not a brick and mortar or online? We are online. We're open in 81 countries, actually. Japan is our #1 market. People in Japan understand multi-level marketing, and they understand word of mouth, and they understand how to grow their networks and to help expand other people throughout not only their country, but throughout the globe. But we are online. You can go to our website, the person that invited you, Jenna, and she will give you her website. You can see, you can click on the country at the top, the flag, and it'll drop down all the countries we ship to. And we do have 5 corporate offices that are globally. Of course, we have one in the United States. It's in Salt Lake City, Utah. Our distribution center and warehouse and laboratories in San Diego. David actually lives in Orlando, and he has a lab here as well too. But we have 5 corporate offices around the globe. We have 12 distribution centers around the globe. So today I was speaking to a lady from Italy. And she said, I'm actually living in the States right now, but I'm moving back in 2 weeks. And so I really want to be able to, buy now, but I need to also buy when I get to Italy. Can I do that? She said, I'm going to make a stop in Switzerland. Can I order there and have it shipped there for my client? She's a doctor, an MD in Italy. And she said, I want to be able to, offer that there. And I said, absolutely. We ship to Switzerland. We ship to Italy. Italy's our #2 market in Europe. And of course, we can ship right where you are right now in California. So that's why he has decided to make it a multi-tiered or tiered marketing, what you call it, because it's a way to be able to help more people that we want word of mouth, right? Can you wear X49 without the 39? You sure can. You're not going to get the kind of same benefits, but you can. You will get benefits, but they will not be the same. So Kim, get with the person that invited you. She can send you a link to a PDF from our app. Every distributor has their own app. It's free. It comes with it. And she'll send you a PDF, and it'll show you the clinical studies with just X49. And then the clinical studies, when you add in X39 and X49 together, it's astronomical. There's no way you would not, no way you would not want to do it together. What is GHK? So GHK-Cu is copper peptide. And so there are hundreds, thousands, millions of peptides in our body. And so each peptide is responsible for a lot of different things. And so it's a group of our chain of proteins of amino acids. That's what peptides are. And so they are responsible for so many different things inside of our body. But GHK-Cu just happens to be the one, if you go to that website, Reverse Aging with GHK, that is responsible for a lot of things in our body and helping the body get back into homeostasis and improving so much. It's just huge. So back pain, ankle pain, can you use 2 LifeWave patches? You have to use 2 LifeWave patches, actually. So the way LifeWave works, but I think you're meaning 2 different spots, but yes, you can. You can do ankle and back, absolutely. So the way LifeWave works is we have a white patch and we have a tan patch. Okay, so I'm going to explain this. I'm going to have to create my own video because there are so many people are like so confused by this. It's not that hard. So I want you to like touch a spot on the right side of your body, maybe your shoulder, okay? Or the side of your head, your temple. Touch a spot on the left side. That's the same. Right? Remember? Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. You guys remember that? You're on the right, you're on the left at the same time. Okay. So pick your part that hurts. Let's say it is your shoulder. You're going to put the right patch on your shoulder. This may look left to you, but this is my right. Okay. And so this is the tan patch. You're going to pick the spot on the same part, but on the opposite side of the body. So if you have a headache, you're going to stick your LifeWave patches right here on your temples. If you have shoulder pain, you're going to put it here. I had somebody today ask me about wrist. Which wrist hurts? Where's the spot? Well, if your spot hurts right here, then you stick the patch right there. And you're going to come over to your left one and you're going to stick the patch in the same spot. So this works with the polarity of your body. So if your back and ankle hurt, then find the spot that hurts. Say the back pain's on your left side. Stick this patch where it hurts on your left side. Come over to your right side. Remember, we have a midline, we have a middle, you have a spine. Go to your right side and put the patch in the same spot in your back. So they would be right across from each other, okay? Do that. Put on the X39 and the Eon as well too. We've got to address the inflammation, and we also want to get to work to repairing the problem, because pain is stuck energy. We can release that with the patches, but you definitely want to make sure that you're getting to the root of the problem, and that's going to take some time, and using that X39 and Eon will help you to get there. So as far as lupus, I can't specifically speak on lupus because that's a disease or a disorder, but I can talk to you about getting the body in balance. And we would look at the X39, we would look at the Eon, and we would also look at glutathione. Glutathione being the master antioxidant, immune booster, and detoxer. And then we can kind of look at what's going on with you. What are your symptoms, right? Because that's what we want to look at. What are you experiencing? We talk about the grocery list of problems. What is your grocery list of problems that you would like to check off? So make that list, Samantha. What's the list of all the things that are bothering you? And we can start addressing those, so we wouldn't actually talk about lupus itself as a disease. Would X39 assist the heart of someone who already has a stent? So it's necessary to add X49 to assist the heart health, or would X39 still work without the 49? So X49 just came out last year, and we saw fantastic results. David even showed the most recent results. Dr. Caitlin Connor was at our conference back in August in Orlando, and she was talking about the most recent, a year later, the most updates on the participants from the clinical studies. But you can definitely just use the X39, absolutely, for the heart. You don't have to add in the X49 at all. It's not required. We've seen massive improvements with just the X39. I would really look at Eon. Eon reduces the inflammatory marker fibrinogen, and fibrinogen has a lot to do with the heart, especially when you look at stents and arteries and things like that. The blood is thick. I'd also look at carnosine. Honestly, this would be my 100% go-to for the heart because of carnosine and what it does. If you Google carnosine and heart, you can see all kinds of amazing things just in carnosine itself from the clinical studies and what it does with the heart. Do you have to put a patch on your back, or would you put it on the part of your body where the pain is? Okay, so X39, and remember, all the patches, we have clinical studies, and in clinical studies, we have to have very specific locations because they're controlled situations, right? And so you want to keep the patches in the area on the studies, right, in the instruction booklet. When we look at X39, David always says back of neck, below belly button, or any spot will work. Stick it on your big toe. It's still going to work because it's going to signal that GHK, that peptide, no matter what. It's going to upregulate your genes no matter what. It's going to activate and elevate your stem cells no matter where you apply it. And so you can apply this anywhere you want. You can put it on any part of the body. And the same thing goes with the Eon. A lot of times, people, it's what we're programmed to believe, that if I want something to work, I have to put it on that location, because we don't understand systemic things are happening throughout the entire body. And that's okay. You can put it directly on the spot if you want to with these two, but I highly recommend that you put the LifeWave on this spot as well. Okay. But you don't have to get rid of the pain. As far as getting to the root of the problem, you can put it just directly on the back of your neck or below the belly button. We are not open in Brazil yet. I know we have a lot of requests for Central and South America. If you know someone that is in the United States or Mexico that you can ship your patches to, they're more than welcome to bring them down to Brazil. We have people all over the world in countries that we're not open in that are taking. I Zoomed with a man last weekend, or weekend before last, actually. Last week we had a hurricane. The weekend before last, that's in India, and he has a nephew that's in Ireland. And so we all three connected on Zoom to get the nephew the patches, because he's going to be going to India to take them to his uncle. So you can, there's a will, there's a way, don't worry. What if both hips hurt? How would you LifeWave patches be applied? 2 sets, I assume. So you would put the white on the right, the tan on the left. Wherever the spot is that it hurts, put the patch there. You wouldn't need 2 sets on your hips. So white right, tan left. Pick a spot. What's the difference between X39 and X49? Well, Mona, the person that invited you, can send you that PDF and you can see all the differences. But basically, in a nutshell, X39 is what's going to activate and elevate and mobilize your stem cells. Stem cells go to work to repair and regenerate all the cells, tissues, and organs in the body. X49 signals a daughter peptide. It's AHKCU. So not GHK, AHKCU. And David invented this patch because he wanted to help improve the lean muscle mass, the grip strength, the bicep strength, the push-up, shoulders, squats, the big muscles in the legs, sit-ups, the core. He wanted to help improve lean muscle mass. He saw a massive need in people that are aging, the decline in muscle mass, which we know increases your mortality rate. And so he invented this patch, but he also found through the clinical studies with people that it improved bone density and stopped bone loss. And it also affected the heart in a massive way. We could see reducing the systolic and diastolic blood pressure, which saw huge benefits in the brain, as well as being able to help grow your hair faster than minoxidil. So it does a lot, but they can send you the PDF. So aneurysm on ascending aorta, X39 and Eon. So when you look at the heart, you would definitely look at X39 and Eon. Definitely, yes, you would definitely look at those two, and even the carnosine as well. Then we have seizures, epilepsy. So again, I can't speak directly to seizures or epilepsy, but I can talk about the brain. And so when you look at the brain, you can look at X39, Eon, and carnosine. So these would be fantastic patches to help with those with those two things. If you're looking at the brain, carnosine, and you can also use X49 as well, but definitely the X39, Eon, and carnosine. So constipation, if you are experiencing constipation, so we have to remember that as our body is moving and things are changing and shifting, it's really important that you're staying hydrated. And so I really want I want to have a conversation about water, because I think people are like, oh yeah, I drink plenty of water. I drink lots of water. I'm like, okay, how much caffeine do you consume in a day's time? Because every cup of coffee or every soda that you consume, you need to increase your water intake by at least 8 to 10 ounces. So if say you weigh 150 pounds, you're supposed to drink 75 ounces of water a day, but you've had 2 cups of coffee. You're going to need another 20 ounces. So that's 95 ounces. Say you have a glass of wine at dinner. You're going to need another 10 ounces. Okay, so now I'm up to 105 ounces. But wait a minute, I thought I was only supposed to drink 75. I'm drinking my required water. But you have to remember that caffeine and alcohol dehydrate you, right? And if you're outside, if you're hot, if you're sweating, you're exercising, you're becoming more dehydrated. So if you're constipated, a lot of times it's dehydration. You just are not consuming enough water. And it's important too that you look at your electrolytes. Electrolytes are very important. If you have a good quality pink Himalayan sea salt, put a little pinch of that in your water. That'll help out. If you can get an electrolyte powder, of course. I'm not talking about Gatorade. Do not go buy the blue, the red, the yellow, the orange, the green crap. That's just toxic, right? So not a sugar-free, don't go get a Crystal Light or anything like that. That's not water. So water is water. If you don't like the flavor, it's great to put mint or rosemary. You can put pineapple, strawberry, orange, lemon, lime, cucumber. Put things in your water, soak them overnight, infuse them. Have you ever been to hotels where you walk in and you've got the beautiful display of water and it's got full of oranges and there's another one full of pineapples and another one full of strawberries? Yeah, you're like, give me all that. That tastes amazing, right? And so you can soak your water in different fruits if you don't like to drink it, but making sure you get plenty of water. And then also looking at, put your patches on your belly. Switch it up a little bit. Maybe you're doing the back of the neck, put them down there. We have a protocol where we use the X39, the Eon, Glutathione, and carnosine for digestive issues on the tummy. And know too, like for example, Donna, Laura, you remember Donna? She talked about her digestive issues she's had her entire life. And she's in her late 50s, early 60s? I don't know. And it took her 5 months. She would go weeks without a bowel movement. 5 months using the technology before she actually had daily bowel movements. So if you're someone that's been constipated for 20 years, you don't have daily bowel movements, you've got long time issues, right? Maybe not. I don't know. I have no idea. I can't even see your picture, right? I can only see the 4 people at the top, Laura and a few other people. But just know that water helps hydrate with electrolytes, trace minerals. That's definitely going to help as well too. What causes sleep apnea, but what's suggested? So when we look at sleep, I can't speak to sleep apnea, of course, because that's a disorder, right? We would definitely look at X39 and Eon and also silent nights. Those are fantastic patches that help with your sleep. We know that X39 helps get you in a deep REM sleep. We know that when you use the Eon, it puts your body in a parasympathetic state, which is a calm, rest, digest, relax state. And we know the Silent Nights increases your body's own melatonin, works with the serotonin, and really helps to balance out all the things needed for your circadian rhythm. And also another thing with sleep, I would, this is really important that you look at your sleep habits. A lot of people are on their phones or their computers, that blue light, up until the time they literally put their head on the pillow and they wonder why they're not out like that. Or you're watching, TV, or you leave your TV on at night, or it's set for a timer to go off hours later. And so taking some time to unplug is really important from all technology, and making sure that you're getting to bed at a good time. I talked to a lady early last week, and she said, I'm so tired all the time. And I said, well, what time do you go to bed? And she goes, I usually finish my last glass of wine around midnight. And I'm like, oh my God, okay. And she said, I don't get up till 10. I'm exhausted when I get up. And I said, well, you do this every day? You don't get up till 10? Like, you need 7-8 hours of sleep, but not 10. No wonder you're exhausted. Like, cut the wine. Get rid of the wine and go to bed earlier and set your alarm and get yourself up. Trust me, if you set your alarm for 6 a.m., my dog wakes me up at 6 a.m. to go to the bathroom. Like, I'm ready to go to bed before midnight. Okay. So you would definitely, if you set, look at your sleep habits, that may be important too. And also weight. I don't know what the person weighs, but a lot of times when there's a lot of excess pressure, in the body from excess weight or excess even fluids, like from dairy and things like that, gluten can really cause a lot of issues respiratory wise. I would look at that too. Oh, that's good to hear. After 5 months, X39, Eon, Glutathione, Carnosine. Thanks, Leah. Belly protocol is straight down under the belly button. So are you talking about the tummy reduction protocol? That is not straight down under the belly button. Tummy reduction protocol uses the X39, of course. It uses the Eon and the SP6 and the glutathione on the tummy. And so the glutathione goes on the right, the Eon goes on the top, and the SP6 goes on the left, like this in a triangle. Okay, that's the tummy reduction protocol. I would also use the energy enhancer. It burns an extra 300 to 600 calories a day. Acid reflux, again, that's a disease. I can't really talk about that, but X39, Eon, Carnosine, Glutathione. Carnosine is fantastic if you go a little higher with that as well too. Maybe right up there at the top where that, right where your esophagus comes down in there. That would be a great place for that. Let's see, what about blood pressure? So as I mentioned earlier, we have clinical studies. I can say this, we have clinical studies that show X39 and X49 reduces systolic and diastolic blood pressure. So these would be two to look at for blood pressure, but we know that Eon and Carnosine are fantastic for the heart as well. Protocol for digestion. So Rhonda, if you want to look at placement for those specific patches, then get with a person that invited you here and they can talk to you specifically about those places for digestive issues. What patches help with anxiety and mood? So we would look at X39 and Eon. Right? So anxiety, when I say that Eon puts your body in a calm, rest, digest, a parasympathetic place, that helps with anxiety and stress. And then we also look at Nirvana, and Nirvana is fantastic. It's our mood balancing patch. We call this our bliss patch. And so it works to help to balance the neural hormones and neurotransmitters in the body. Works very differently than Eon. They are not the same thing, right? But this also helps with mood disorders. So if you have any other questions, I want you guys to go ahead and get back with the person that invited you. They can definitely get those questions answered for you, or help, of course, grab their upline. They can help you as well too. But I do want to leave a little bit of time to do our drawing, our spin. We're going to do spin the wheel of names. I put all of the guest names. You have to be present to win. But I put all the guest names in the wheel of names here before we started. So I'm going to share this now with you guys. So you can see here we have 65 entries up here at the top. And we're going to be giving away 3 free X39s tonight. So you can see if your name's on there, fantastic. If your name's not on there, then I apologize. The person that invited you did not get it to their upline. And we'll have to make sure we get you entered in the next one. But I'm going to hit the spin. And if your name is the winner, then if you'll just actually if you can raise your hand, because I don't think I have it allowed where you guys can unmute yourself. Let me see. Okay, so we have Jeannie Schaefer. Jeannie? Laura, you know Jeannie? She's like, yeah, is she on here? Can you look for me, Laura? Because I can't see and I can't change the button now to unmute them, actually. Do you care to look for me? You got it? Okay, cool. Thanks. All right. So number 2, let's see who our second winner is. You're going to get a free month of the X39, you guys. Who is it? Mindy Carnahan. Okay, so Mindy Carnahan, you're going to get a free month. Laura, do you want to check and see if Mindy's on here for me? She's on there? Perfect. All right, last one. Oh, Mindy says, yes, I'm here. I love it. Oh, it stopped in the same place. Okay, so Shander Payton. Shander, it was right between Shander and Mindy on the last one. Is Shander on here? Let's see if we can find Shander. Shander Payton.
Yep, there she is.
Okay, she's like, I'm here. Okay, fantastic. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for being on here this evening. I'm so excited for all of our guests that got to learn a little bit more tonight. And be sure that you get back with the person that invited you. That person is going to help you get set up. If you are a guest and you have not yet purchased, you do have the option to purchase at wholesale. We can help you get set up with a wholesale account. Doesn't cost anything. There's no sign-up fees. You don't have any set auto ships or anything like that. And you can customize. You can order whatever patches that you want inside of that pack. There are 4 different packs to pick from. So get with the person that invited you and they will help you get set up with that. So thank you guys for being here this evening. I will get this recorded, uploading very shortly, and then we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow night. David is going to be speaking at 9 p.m. Eastern on the Eon tomorrow night. So make sure you grab that link as well too. It's a different link tomorrow night, but David will be talking all things Eon, and it's a brand new Zoom that he is doing tomorrow night. So we look forward to seeing you all.